Breaking news: Osinbajo in self-quarantine. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is currently in self-quarantine amid the spread of the new coronavirus in the country, according to his spokesman, Laolu Akande. In a tweet on Tuesday, Akande said that the Vice President has been conducting his meetings via video conferencing while observing social distance. Vice President Osinbajo yesterday at the office conducted his meeting via video conferencing while observing social distancing. Today, he continues his work from home in the office as he is in self-isolation in accordance with NCDC protocols. Mr. Akande's tweet comes after it emerged that the Chief of Staff to the President, Mr. Abba Kyari, has tested positive for the coronavirus. Mr. Kyari is believed to have been infected during his recent trip to Germany, where he met with officials of Siemens in Munich on Nigeria's electricity expansion program. The Chief of Staff was said to have returned on March 14 and apparently did not show any symptoms of being infected with the virus at any time. It is yet unclear whether Mr. Osinbajo's self-quarantine is related to the news of Mr. Abba Kyari's positive case. The Ministry of Health and Nigerian Center for Disease Control, the two bodies at the forefront of the country's response against the virus, have repeatedly advised Nigerians to self-quarantine, especially if they just returned from a foreign trip. On Monday, NCDC Chief Chinwe Iyekwe Azu said that the nation's major coronavirus threats comes from those coming in from outside country. Either this month, Mr. Osinbajo was forced to cancel his trip from Abuja to Lagos after his motorcade was involved in an accident that led to the death of one of his escorts. Viewers, with what you have heard concerning Osinbajo, Vice President, being in isolation because of the meetings he has been having since the beginning of this month, since this disease has been announced in the nation, in the country and nation at large. Osinbajo is scared of being contacted by this virus. Osinbajo is scared of having this virus because he has traveled in this month. He has traveled so many times. And he has come in contact with those that might have the disease. So he's been scared that he might have contacted the disease from anyone in the plane. According to what Mr. Akande said, that the Chief of Staff of the President has been contacted positive for this coronavirus. That is why Osinbajo is being scared of contacting this virus, because he said anybody can contact this virus anytime, anywhere. But all we need to do is to be very careful, to be extremely careful. Even the Chief of Staff never knew that he's going to be contacted with this virus. But as God will have it, he has this virus. I urge Abba Kyari to please try and agree to be admitted in the hospital. They should admit him in order for this virus, in order for his family and the rest cabals not to contact this virus from him. This, according to what this man said, Mr. Akonde, he said that that these symptoms did not show on Abba Kyari. He never knew that he has this disease, virus, because he never had any symptoms of being infected with this virus at any time. The reason why he find out that he has this virus is because he went to the hospital to have this test just for having sick, not that he has any symptoms of this. For this, he just went because he believed that he has traveled many times in this month. So you never can tell, according to what he said you never can tell if someone he sat with in the plane has this virus. He just wants to be careful and to know if this virus has been, or if he has been contacted with this virus or not. That was the reason why he went to the hospital to have this test. But after the result came out, it was positive, and he was so disappointed. According to what they said, he said now that Mr. Abba Kyari is now in total self-isolation. Now he has been taken to the hospital for treatment, for cure of this coronavirus. So the government should try and tell all the cabals and everyone, every government, every governors, all the governors in the nation, in different states, to go for these tests, no matter what. You have these symptoms or not. Let's all go for the tests to know our faith. Because if you do not run these tests, because we believe that we don't have the symptoms of this disease, then we refuse to go for these tests. What if this disease, God forbid, is in them, and with their stubbornness for having a test, and at the end of the day, their families and loved ones have been infected by this virus, what will be their fate? So the earlier the better. Since the Senate, governors and ministers, they travel every day for meetings, they should be running this test every day after the meeting or after their outing, no matter what. Now they have introduced sanitizer for us, for our sake. We should always make use of this. We should always wash our hands, because that sometimes we might even get carried away by touching objects close to us. These objects close to us, someone that has this infection might have been dropped or placed his hand, his or her hand on this platform, and we also place our hand on it. This also can cause or can affect us, or can cause this coronavirus. That is it. So we need to be careful. We need to be conscious. We need to take precaution of this thing, of this virus, for it not to come to us. Look at this man, Bala Muhammad. He said, according to what he said, immediately he came back from the trip, he was so worried, him and his cabal. He quickly went for a test, conducted a test. When this test was going on, he was scared not to be positive. Why did he go for a test? Because he met Atiku's son in the plane, and then he was told that Atiku's son have this disease, has contracted this disease. So immediately he got to Lagos, to Abuja, its place of domain. He quickly went straight to his family doctor. Advice is cabals to also do the same. So now he's now a free man. After the result came out, he was tested negative. If he had not gone for this test, and he never knew that he has this disease inside his body, because he said, according to him, that he said that this does not have any symptoms for this virus. What if he just relented and never had his test? Or let's assume that he was positive and he never had his test. Don't you know that this virus will be spread to his family members? It will be spread to his wife and his children, even his own siblings and family members. But he had the test because he was scared, since he shook hands with Atiku's son and also hugged him. So he believed that he might have been contacted by this virus through Atiku's son. So he quickly rushed to the hospital to conduct a test. That is it. Okay, look at Atiku's son. He was confirmed negative and positive of this disease. But when his wife and his children did run this test, do you know that the results came out negative? This infection did not affect them. This disease did not affect them, despite the fact that Atiku's son contact this virus, but the family members does not have this virus. According to what Atiku said, he said he is very sure that his son contacted this virus from his friends, because that week before his son started falling sick, him and his friends, they went clubbing. They clubbed all through the night. That was on Friday. Since this virus came into the world, a lot of people have been so careless. They never believe that this virus can come to them. Faith without work is dead. If you don't take precautions of of things that are going to do in order for us not to contact this virus, forget. Believe you me, this virus will come to you. With the help of God and the instructions of not having this virus, will definitely help us. But if you refuse to obey by these rules and never pray to God for this virus not to come to you, then you are just a nobody. The virus will come to you and to your family. So all we need to do now is to keep praying and also take precautions. Let's always wash our hands. Let's be vigilant. Let us be vigilant. Let us have conscience. Let us have this mind that anywhere we go to, this virus might be there. We should be careful of where we lay our hands. We should be careful of where we sit. We should be careful of who we talk to. We should be careful of who we shake hands with. We should be careful of who we hug. Because we don't know who has this virus or not. Would you believe that Atiku's son will have such virus and will never affect his family members or the estate they live in? No. So, viewers, that is my own comments. If you have any comments, please don't hesitate to drop your comment below the comment box, as well as clicking on the subscription button to receive more updates whenever I publish any new video. And don't forget, like and share this news as well. Thank you.